Hi friends, Marcy Schonborn here. And if you are here, I know that you are interested in all things wellness, aging well, longevity. And today we're going to talk about antioxidant myths. It's a quick talk. I hope you listen through it. There is a lot of misinformation going around from influencers. I hate to say that. I don't think that they mean it. I think that they are misinformed. They get half information, they get snippets from big influencers, and then they run with it. And that can be very harmful. So, in every talk that I do, I am here to get you the truth. I'm not just a nutritionist. I am a holistic nutritionist and I am a researcher. And I keep up with current data and I dig into real research. I do not get my research from YouTube. I get my research from scientific citations, scientific data. I dig, and get answers. And that is why you might find different information from me than you are hearing on the internet. So I appreciate you tuning in. Share this with friends that love all things wellness. Subscribe, please. That is how my channel grows, by people that like me and subscribe and tell their friends. And I appreciate you. So let's tune in to today's talk on antioxidants and get the truth. Okay, so today we're going to talk about antioxidants and in our program we talk about antioxidants a lot, but what I'm seeing, the buzz I'm seeing all over social media, is that they surround the cell and they cause harm. And so I want to unpack why some influencers claim that it is not the truth. So I want to explain it. And so sometimes it's oversimplified metaphors. Antioxidants are often explained as shields or barriers around cells. Influencers may take this literally, imagining antioxidants physically coating cells and blocking important signals, oxygen or nutrients. So when you are listening to an influencer without a background in science, not just a background in nutrition, a background in science and research, they may oversimplify things. And misinterpretation of research on antioxidant paradox. So some studies show that in very high doses, antioxidant supplements, especially synthetic vitamin E, beta carotene, may increase disease risk. And for example, high dose beta carotene increased lung cancer risk in smokers. But these are synthetic supplements. These are not from food. And so influencers sometimes misinterpret this as antioxidants damage cells, rather than over supplementation can disrupt balance. And we know we need to get our supplementation. So let's actually take the word supplementation out. We need to get our nutrition and our healing and our health and our antioxidants from food. And then once we understand that, we fill in holes with supplements. We don't use supplements to fix because they cannot do that. So, and the confusion with ROS signaling, reactive oxygen species. ROS aren't only harmful, they also serve as signaling molecules for normal cellular processes, growth, immune, defense, adaptation to exercise. So what they are is signaling, speaking to our body, giving our body instructions. And so again, if you don't understand this, you are going to maybe explain it poorly. But if you blunt all ROS with massive antioxidant intake, so you're tons of supplements, you can interfere with these signals. And some influencers warp this into antioxidants are harmful. And I'll explain ROS a little better in a minute. But the accurate truth about antioxidants, so what they actually do. Antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin E, polyphenols, glutathione, etc. They neutralize excess free radicals. And free radicals are unstoppable molecules with unpaired electrons. And so that's where damage comes from. And so I explain in my program about free radicals and oxidation. You know, imagine like a copper roof, and a copper roof is beautiful. And even a patinaed, turquoised copper roof is beautiful, but our copper inside, when it patinas, that is not beautiful. That is what happens with excess free radicals. And so it's free radical damage. And so free radicals damage DNA, proteins, and lipids if uncontrolled, a process called oxidative stress. So oxidizing your internal copper, if you will. And so balance is key. The body needs some ROS for cell signaling and defense. Example, immune cells use ROS to kill pathogens. So it speaks to it to tell it to kill pathogens. Too much ROS, chronic inflammation, cancer risk, aging, too many antioxidants, especially supplements, not foods, can suppress necessary ROS signaling. This balance is called redox homeostasis. So food versus supplements, antioxidants from whole foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, herbs, tea, etc. are beneficial because they're paired with fiber, phytochemicals, and nutrients that support natural balance. Problems mostly arise from mega dosing supplements, not from food. So where influencers might be getting it wrong. So taking too much is bad and generalizing it to all antioxidants are harmful. So if you get a lot of antioxidants in your nutrition, not bad. If you get a lot of antioxidants in your supplements, can be bad. And misunderstanding redox biology, ROS as villains only, antioxidants as absolute protectors. And so what are ROS? Let's explain ROS. It stands for Reactive Oxygen Species. And they are highly reactive molecules that contain oxygen. And, you know, you have to look at how amazingly beautiful God designed our body. And so when we have a process in our body, it was designed for a reason. The problem is many times they often go into overload, they get overworked. And when that happens, that's not how it was originally designed. And it happens from cellular breakdown, too many supplements, processed food. When we're eating healthy foods, the body works like a well-oiled machine. And so ROS, reactive oxygen species, they are highly reactive molecules that contain oxygen, such as superoxide, hydrogen peroxide, hydroxyl radical. And so they are natural byproducts of normal metabolism, especially in the mitochondria when making energy from food. They can also be produced during exercise, immune responses, and exposure to pollutants, radiation, or toxins. So they can be produced during those times because that's how our body was designed, supposed to be produced at those times in amounts we need to balance the body. So why is it misunderstood? So the traditional view, ROS were seen only as villains, causing oxidative stress, damaging DNA, proteins, and lipids, and leading to aging and chronic disease. And the modern view, updated science, redox biology. And so we've got to stay updated on science to be good at teaching people about how to use food even for their body. Because food is really the secret. Food is the only thing that we can use as a foundation for wellness. So the modern view, ROS are dual role molecules. So at low to moderate levels, ROS are essential signaling molecules. They help regulate cell growth and repair, very important. Immune defense, white blood cells use ROS to kill pathogens. And hormesis, stress adaptation. So example, exercise benefits partly come from ROS signaling. And so it's really not any different than than inflammation. Inflammation was designed to speak to our body and tell it needs to be fixed. Chronic inflammation is the problem, right? So excess ROS is the problem. So at excessive levels, ROS do cause oxidative stress, tipping the balance towards cell and tissue damage. So the role of antioxidants. Antioxidants like vitamin C, E, glutathione, polyphenols help keep ROS in balance, not eliminate them completely. So if you completely suppress ROS, you can actually block beneficial signaling. For example, taking very high doses of antioxidants around workouts can blunt the body's adaptation to exercise. So the real story is about redox balance, a dynamic equilibrium between ROS generation and antioxidant defenses. And so if we're eating to heal the gut, to signal the body, to keep the body in tune, then the redox will stay balanced. When we are trying, when we're yo-yo dieting, when we are eating on programs that tell us we need to eat all of this, you know, hate to pick on like the carnivore and the keto, but those are the pushers of those programs are really the pushers of this misinformation. And I don't even think that they intentionally are giving misinformation. I think they are getting bad information and then they share it. So in short, ROS are not just bad guys. They are double-edged swords, essential messengers when balanced, harmful when uncontrolled. Antioxidants are not meant to wipe them out, but to regulate their level. So antioxidants need to come from foods. Every meal we consume every day should have antioxidants in it. And so to regulate their levels so cells can use ROS constructively without being damaged. And another thing, cherry picking studies on isolated supplements without context. And that's where we've got issues with influencers. A lot of times we have to be aware. We've got these small influencers, which I'm considered a small influencer, but I'm a researcher and I do have a master's in nutrition. So I'm not just somebody that is just kind of following people on social media and jumped on a wagon I believe in. Kudos for believing in the health wagon. Gotta love that, right? We need more people that do. But we also need to be sure that who we're listening to is not cherry picking studies. And so if they're doing that and they're not getting all the information, they're giving you bits of information. Or even if maybe they put out a reel with a tiny bit of information, I do this, put out reels with something, and then we want you to get further information from us. If you don't get the further information, kind of on you that you didn't learn more. But I think a lot of people don't even understand that's what these little 1 minute, 2 minute videos are about. They're about, you know, giving you a bite, what we can give you in that amount of time. And then you come in and you get more information from us by following us, by subscribing to us, different things like that. So the bottom line, antioxidants don't surround and harm cells. So anybody out there telling you they do, they have a smidgen of information. And I highly, highly suggest that you quit listening to them because they're not doing research. They're not doing enough research to help you, and they could harm your health. If you are getting misinformation, you're trying to put it all together yourself, and you could harm your health. So they're crucial molecules that protect against oxidative damage. However, just like water or oxygen, too much in the wrong form can disrupt balance. Whole food antioxidants are consistently linked with lower risk of chronic disease, while excessive supplementation can sometimes backfire. And I just want to also throw in food sources of beta carotene. So we mentioned beta carotene earlier. And so as an antioxidant, it neutralizes free radicals, protects lipids, proteins, and DNA from oxidative damage. Vitamin A precursor helps maintain good vision, especially night vision, supports immune defenses, and contributes to healthy skin and mucous membranes, but cautions, food sources are safe and beneficial. Eating more fruits and vegetables rich in beta carotene is consistently linked to lower risk of chronic disease. Supplements in high doses can be harmful. Large trials found that high-dose beta-carotene supplements increase lung cancer risk in smokers and asbestos workers. That's why experts recommend getting beta-carotene from whole foods, not pills unless prescribed. So in short, beta-carotene is a natural plant pigment and antioxidant and an important source of vitamin A. It's very healthy in foods, but high-dose supplements can cause problems in certain groups. And so short talk there here today, but do we have any questions? Again, I want to thank you for tuning in. It means so much to me that you take the time and listen to these talks. And I do have a free school that you can join. It is free right now as I make this video. So hopefully you see this video while it's still free and you can jump on and then you keep it free, be locked into that, and you'll be able to tune into these talks live if you're in my school. Why does that matter? Because you can ask me questions. I do coffee chats, I do other different talks, and then you can ask questions. I can unpack things further, and you can get even more information. And you can just hang out with me in my tribe, and we have lots of fun. So see the link to join my school. And again, thank you for being here. If you did not subscribe yet, what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button and make sure that you see all of my videos. Have a great day. Be blessed. Thank you. Thank you. Love you.